Welcome back to the marketplace. We begin from the Ashanti region, where commercial production of charcoal briquettes for domestic and industrial use has begun at Bamine. The private initiative, spearheaded by Agricultural, Industrial and Commercial Products Limited under the One District One factory, is anticipated to reduce traditional charcoal use. Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Robert Ahumkalinse commissioned the factory over the weekend. And Asensu Mensah has more in this report.
Produced mainly from sawdust, coconut shell, bamboo, rice husk and other waste materials, charcoal briquette is seen as a sustainable alternative to ordinary charcoal. Biomass materials are compressed into briquettes which burn just like charcoal but without harmful effects to the environment. The first phase of the factory will provide 50 direct and 100 indirect jobs to the local and other people. AICPL is already looking beyond the domestic market for its product. Alhaji Adam Suleimana is chief executive.
Some key benefits from our operations would include environmental preservation and sustainability, creation of jobs for the district, and thus poverty alleviation, savings for domestic, commercial, and industrial uses of charcoal, because briquettes burn at least 3 hours longer than ordinary charcoal. Revenue generation for the government and forex earnings through our export activities. Our factory will produce 3 main products. The first product is biochar, which is an organic fertilizer that greatly improves soil for crop production. Thus, we are in a position to support the government's Planting for Food and Jobs initiative with a supply of large quantities of biochar for farmers. The second and main product is a charcoal briquettes used for household and commercial as well as for industrial fuel purposes.
AICPL is collaborating with Council for Scientific and Industrial Research on how to deploy wood vinegar, one of the factory's byproducts, in elimination of fall armyworm.
Finally, our third product is called wood vinegar. It is a byproduct of the carbonization process in the production of biochar. Several studies have since proved that wood vinegar is effective against bacteria, fungi, and termites. Currently, we are collaborating with scientists from the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research on how to deploy wood vinegar effectively, particularly in the eradication of the armyworm menace. And by June 2020, inshallah, AICPL intend adding activated charcoal to our production line to supply the mining, water treatment, oil and gas, pharmaceutical and other sectors.
Deputy Minister of Trade and Industry Robert Ahumkalinse urges the company to look beyond the Ghana and the West African market.
The system of our economy, which is based on the export of raw materials and the import of finished goods, is simply not enough appropriate for 30 million Ghanaians. It just will not create enough jobs and wealth to take care, particularly of our youth. In the absence of that, we have to change the very essence, the structure of our industrial base. We have to stop being a nation that imports products and become a nation that manufactures products.
Nana Asensu Mensah reporting.
Now, the local currency would depreciate further in the coming months, ending the year at around 6 cedis 30 pesos. That's according to the latest Economist Intelligence Unit report on the country. We have more on what is influencing this projection in the following Business Desk report.
The Bank of Ghana's official quotes, as captured on its website, the local currency is today selling at around 5 cedis 30 pesos. However, the situation is different when it comes to what the commercial banks are offering to clients, as our scans today show that $1 is going for about 5 cedis 50 pesos. It has been around 5 cedis 49 pesos and 5 cedis 51 peso range over the past 1 week. This is more of a sign of some stability. So at this rate, if the Economist Intelligence Unit's prediction is anything to go by, Then, in the next 3 months, it could go down further to reach 6 cities 30 pesos. The local currency has come under some pressure over the weeks due to the investor sell-off of the country's bonds and the pickup in demand for dollars to finance these imports. The Bank of Ghana has also been on the market to equally meet the demands of banks. However, we cannot establish whether what's been supplied indeed met their demand. Market data suggests a pickup in dollar support for the banks over the past weeks. Some industry analysts would want to see the report by the Economics Intelligence Unit, EIU, as just a projection. This is because looking at the current reserve position of the Bank of Ghana and recent inflows from the cocoa syndication loan, the central bank should be in a strong position to support the city. There are also concerns about whether the pressure on the city is backed by real demand or speculative activities. Recent Bank of Ghana figures show that total foreign accounts in the commercial banks ending last year stood at $4 billion. But are these monies meant for business transactions, or some persons are just trying to use it to hedge against inflation?
Meanwhile, officials from the Financial Institution Supervision Department of the Bank of Ghana are embarking on an enforcement to implement directives of the foreign exchange rules in some selected areas of the country. The move is part of a planned nationwide campaign to ensure that goods sold in the country are sold only in the Ghana cities. Now, the team is currently was at the airport business enclave. I'm not sure if they are right now at that same spot, but we can speak to Ebenezer Sabote, who is standing by with an update on the operations. Great to have you, Eben. Tell us where you've been so far and what the team has been up to.
Hi, Daryl. So far, we have been at the airport enclave, like you said, and we went to Holiday Inn Hotel. We checked on some of the forex bureaus around the airport enclave. Over there at the Holiday Inn Hotel, we checked on the price, and indeed, they were pricing in cedis. That's the hotel rate. But at the forex bureau, you know that the forex bureau businesses were supposed to check some details of their clients before transacting business with them. That is their ID cards and all that. Over there, they were not, asking for it, but we insisted that that is the law and they were supposed to ask for it. From there, we moved to Marriott Hotel and then also to some other forex bureaus around. What came out is that some of these companies are aware of the rules and they are complying. Others too are not aware. But the situation also is that some of them, even though are aware, but their officers or their bosses at the highest level were not complying with the law. So we give them some caution or warning that next time they are supposed to comply with the directive. We also went to the
what a shame. Ibn Sabote has frozen there. We'll try and re-establish contact with him as a team from the Bank of Ghana is currently at the airport enclave to ensure that the forex rules are being obeyed or being followed by the businesses over there. Once we re-establish contact with him, we'll speak to him. But the monetary policy of the Bank of Ghana has begun its 90th regular meetings to review developments in the economy. This meeting, which is crucial after the banking sector cleanup, will see the committee take decisions that would influence cost of credit at the time that there is divided opinion on whether the policy rate should be reduced or remain unchanged. George Affe has more in the following report.
The city's depreciation and containing inflation rate are some of the issues that will dominate the meetings. The committee, which is chaired by the governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Alderson, would also look at how these various developments in the economy would influence inflation rate and the required policy measures that should be implemented to contain the situation. Some of the issues that the committee will be close. Revised taxes outlined in the supplementary budget, transport fares, as well as how the pickup in the global oil prices could all impact on the local economy as well as the inflation rate. At its last meeting, the Bank of Ghana kept its policy rate at 16%, which is the rate at which it lends to commercial banks in the country. Economist Professor Eric Osei-Sibe tells Joy Business it might be prudent for the Bank of Ghana to hold the rate at 16%.
The key to ensuring that we have interest rate falling to ensure that it provides now resources for the private sector to invest will be to stabilizing the cedi, because the cedi presents one of the biggest threats to inflationary pressures in all of that. And so for me, to be able to anchor this expectation is ensuring stability in the currency.
The committee is expected to announce its decision this Friday at a meeting with journalists as to whether it is going to hold the policy rate at 16% or bring it down marginally, and how that could impact on the cost of credit in the country. Many would also be looking forward to the debt stock, which was put at 200 billion Ghana cedis ended May this year. And what about government's expenditure outlook as well as revenue?
All right, so we want to take you back to the airport enclave, where a team from the Bank of Ghana is currently going around to ensure that businesses over there are following the Forex rules. You can see there in your shots Abna Kunedo, who is head of Forex. Let's listen into what she's saying.
700 penalty units or imprisonment, a term where you'll be imprisoned, or both. You'll be imprisoned. 700 penalty, and each penalty unit attracts like 12 cedis. So you have to multiply it and see the rippling effect. So we are not interested in penalizing people. We want them to be compliant, and then they can work in harmony and the regulator will be happy.
But does it mean that the directive has not gone down with the people, looking at what happened so far through our rounds?
Well, I would say that to some, for my Forest Bureau examination outfit, we know that we have done stakeholders meeting even in July to educate our licensed forest bureaus. We've also we are drumming it. We've published these directives in the dailies, and we are still doing this education as we move around with the media, that the public should desist from engaging in businesses with unlicensed forest bureaus. If you do that per our directive, it comes with also a caution there for you. Any person found transacting business with an unlicensed forest bureau or an illegal forest dealer shall be dealt with in accordance with the laws of the country. So for now, it's more education, more stakeholders engagement to drum it down for us to know that they have understood what we are expecting them to do.
Thank you very much. So as the operation goes on, we'll come back to you for an update. Darryl, if you can hear me, this is how far we'll bring the interview. But we are moving to some other agencies or hotels as well, and as and when we'll give you all the updates. As I indicated, we've been to most of these forest bureaus in the capital city, especially airport, and it's like, from my own observation, about 70% of them are complying with the rules. The rest will ensure that they comply. Thank you.
Is it just a quick one, Eben, is it just hotels they are targeting? Because there are a lot more businesses that operate in that setting. And listening to her, is it just a caution to those who are not complying, or there are punitive measures that they are going to receive if you are caught to be flouting the Forex laws?
So like Madam Edra indicated earlier, there are punitive measures that will be taken, but for now they are interested in people getting the law or getting understanding of the law. So yes, there are punitive measures, and then also it's not only the forest bureaus. So like I indicated, we went to hotels, and then also at the Marina Mall, where you know that the facility managers over there are the housing facility manager, Bro Ghana, and they also have their landlords who give them the facilities to manage. We also went to Silver Star Auto Limited, which is also an automobile company, and we will be going to CFA Motors and some other companies as well. So today's operation is not only for forex bureaus, but forex bureaus, hotels, housing agencies, and then automobile agencies. Darryl.
All right, Eben Sabudi, thank you very much indeed. He's been following the team from the Bank of Ghana that has been checking to ensure that businesses across the country, and specifically at the airport enclave, are following the Forex rules. Now, we've been talking about the fact that the Bank of Ghana's Monetary Policy Committee has begun its meetings to review the economy. We expect the committee to make an announcement on the policy rate as to whether or not they're going to cut it or maintain the policy rate. We can speak to economist with Data Bank, Courage Buti, who joins us with some more analysis on this one. Thanks for your time, Courage. So what is your reading? What's your anticipation after the meeting, that decision that the Bank of Ghana would take, whether or not they're going to maintain the rate, reduce it, or increase it? Hi, Courage, can you hear me? All right, we're having troubles with sound there. Would re-establish contact with Courage, as and when we do, we'll have that conversation. Now, 3 days more to the JoyNews Habitat Fair 2019, and exhibitors are promising exciting deals and packages for patrons who will make it to the fair. Dealers in door locks and accessories, Petok Limited is one of the sponsors. Ahead of the fair, the managing director, David Ejay, tells us why you can't afford to miss the event at the Accra International Conference Center this weekend. Karen Dodu has more in this report.
2019 edition of the JoyNews Habitat Fair, like subsequent editions, is aimed at bringing together experts and companies in the housing sector to proffer solutions to the housing needs of Ghanaians. It will come up from the 20th to the 22nd of September 2019. Wondering why you should make it to the fair? Managing Director of Petok Limited, David Ejay, explains that customers will have an opportunity to choose from its array of door accessories.
Okay, so this is what we call a rim lock. Okay. Now, a rim lock is a lock that doesn't come with a handle. It just comes as a lock. So normally maybe you have a bigger gate, okay, and you don't want to put padlock, because when you're out of the house and the padlock is outside, it's so obvious. Everybody knows you are not in the house. So you fix a rim lock, so it's inside the gate and there's just the space for the key. So nobody actually knows if you are inside or outside. And with this one as well, it comes with a security feature. So with this one too, you can't duplicate the keys. You use them for your main gate. It's very, very secure. Yeah. And then we have this is for glass doors. You know, they have a slimmer frame. So you want a slimmer case lock for it. So we have this one and this one, and they are also locks for glass doors. So we do have that here. So based on the size of your door, these ones, you know them from most glass doors. Yeah. They have them, and then normally opposite each other. And yes. And these ones we have these ones in the size of the bigger ones as well. But these are just miniature ones just to be able to fit.
If that's not enough catch for you, then this cool discount offer might be.
Well, so because of our online store, once you visit us at the Habitat Fair and we have your details, you get 5% coupon code, which you can use on our online store, and you can also bring to the shop, and then you're entitled to 5% discount. And trust me, 5% discount is not so small.
The theme for the 10th edition is rethinking building technology in Ghana to give true meaning to affordable housing.
Well, the month of September is here again with associated high expenditure. Students and parents make purchases to get them back to school. Now, this could really impact significantly on finances of parents and guardians. Charles Aite has visited the Central Business District of Accra to gauge the level of expenditure for this academic year, and he comes through with this report.
Trunks, chop boxes, and so on. These make you know time is up once again to go to school. It's a busy market day here at the Central Business District of Accra. Parents and guardians are trooping in to various shops to make purchases for stationery boxes and other consumables for their wards.
Last year, this chop boxes was 80 cedis.
This man sells trunks and chop boxes. He's been here since 6 a.m. He tells me low demand for these hitherto highly demanded boxes have now reduced prices drastically.
This year, the chop box is 60 and the trunk was 90.
Why?
Because the price, the market is not moving fast. So we decided to adjust the prices.
So people will be buying more?
Yeah. But still, we are not seeing nothing.
The mad rush for several kinds of textbooks for students who are going to school. The question remains, how far are parents willing to spend in this time to get their wards to school?
So they count it great joy to come and buy the book.
Samuel Kwame Abuache is a manager of Topman Book Center and is satisfied with business so far in this book season.
They count it great joy buying for the season.
My daughter have got school, and now I'm coming to buy a scientific calculator for her.
For this parent, spending over 2,000 cedis in stationery is a ritual she'd committed herself to over the past years. Things are expensive, she tells me.
Almost 2,000.
2,000?
Yes, it's normal, yes, because others are even using 2,500 and 3,000. Because I know that my daughter will be going to school, so I have to prepare for her.
The September rush season has also become an opportunity for others to create alternative employment for themselves.
Actually, to save money for school, God willing, next year.
Next year? So how much do you charge?
It's 5 cedis per trunk or chore box.
5 cedis per trunk? No reduction?
No, it's a fixed price.
And how has the business been like? How many guys do you get to inscribe their names on their trunks?
You can get about 10 people a day for chore box and trunk, so making a pair each. So you can get about 50 cedis a day. When there is market, I think 100 cedis.
The month of September to various families and of course guardians come with a huge financial burden. The question now remains whether or not recent hike in fuel prices and the dynamics in market systems could really have an impact on their pockets. I'm Charles Aite for Joy Business.
Marketplace on JoyNews. We want to reconnect. Hopefully, we have a better connection to Courage Boti of Data Bank as we try to gauge their decision when they finally finalize their meetings. I'm talking about the Monetary Policy Committee. Let's try and see if we can speak with Courage Boti. What are your projections, Courage? Are they going to maintain the rate, cut the rate, or increase it? Hello, Courage. Can you hear me? Can you hear me loud and clear, Courage? Can you hear me loud and clear, Courage? All right. We certainly are having sound issues there. We can't reach Courage this afternoon. Hopefully, in subsequent bulletins. But before we go, peasant farmers in the Lot District and Kita Municipal Assemblies in the Volta region are calling on government to dredge the Kita Lagoon to reclaim land for farming activities. The predominantly vegetable farmers lament the continuous flooding of the salty lagoon, destroying their farms. Feduho visited the area and has come through with this report.
Between the sea and the lagoon lies the Anlo and Kita plains for human habitation and being used as a source of livelihood. Over the years, the sea has wrecked homes as well as some tourist sites, while the lagoon continues to destroy farmlands during harsh climatic conditions. The $85 million sea defense project commissioned in 1999 salvaged the situation from further deterioration. This piece of land is being used for residential purposes, as a cemetery and for commercial farming. Though very porous and sandy in nature, the local folks are able to prepare it for prospective farming. Kwame, a young farmer, tells me the only solution to the land issue is to dredge the lagoon to reclaim lands for farming and fishing purposes.
And that's the marketplace this afternoon. Thanks for watching. My name is Darryl Carl. There's more news on our website, myjoyonline.com/business. The news returns at 5 p.m. on Business Live. Thanks for watching.